I'll be reacting to Girls Frontline episode 7. I'll be watching it off of Funimation's website, and I'll be starting my reaction in 1-0, go. Oh yeah. I'm hopped up for some Girls Frontline greatness. Huh. Okay, I thought for a second I didn't have volume high enough because there wasn't any noise coming out for a second. Hey, I actually don't mind this little recap here. And saying that, as much as there were elements I liked about the previous episode, I thought it was a little bit too quick. I can only hope the pacing for this episode 7 ends up a little bit more smoother. Man, I just love how our girl just completely dominated the fight, though. Oh, man. That was probably one of the coolest things in the series. And so I think she still has a trump card that she hasn't even used yet, too. So, boo. Which I'm guessing we're going to see it in usage pretty soon because I don't think they'd be hyping the hell up out of that if it wasn't going to get any use. Eventually, anyway. And I mean, I like the OST, even though it's not loud. It's got some pretty nice effect. I'm assuming this lady's going to want to avenge all of her either subordinates or fallen comrades. Are we finally going to get an antagonist that doesn't get bitched the fuck out in like the same episode they're introduced? Because that'd be fucking great if we did. Like, don't get me wrong. I fucking like this series and all. Like, this series is pretty cool sometimes, but like, holy shit. So far, this series hasn't really had a credible antagonist yet where I can say, holy fuck, this antagonist is fucking cool. I wonder if this is going to be finally the moment where we're finally going to get something that's going to actually be a credible threat. At least it feels like there's going to be higher aspirations for this antagonist because you see at the very least her remembering all of the antagonists that have fallen so far in the series, which is better than absolutely nothing. At least that gives me hope that we're hopefully going to get an antagonist that lasts more than an episode. Yeah, it'd be ideal if this new girl villain is going to be able to last at least 2 or 3 episodes. That'd be hype as shit. Because this series is getting a little bit formulaic. Like, you have an epic sung vs. Force. They do cool shit in the episode introduced, and they just fucking die. I hope we get more than that this week. I'm going to cross my fingers. The message. Gotta admit, though, whenever there's like night sequences, the artwork in this series really shines. Oh yeah, about to see our girls kick some ass again. I like how M4A1 looks like she's ready for fucking business to bust and fuck shit up. I just hope this time, though, the action's a little bit more fluid than it was in the previous 2 episodes. Oh! All right! I mean, I mean, it's a bit better than the previous episode because when we saw that doll hit in this instance, at the very least, it was like a reaction shot with a bullet connecting with its head. Even though we didn't get to see any of the destruction animation that was showing off in episodes 1 or 3, still better than the last 2 efforts that this series has had so far, at least visually. Okay, we're finally getting into this freaking style here. I'm already liking this new girl. Okay. All right, we got a cheeky one here. Whoa, we got a badass here. When it comes to this shit, just boasting about the amount of bases she's got. Huh. I mean, they're the enemy. They're not supposed to be kind-hearted, though. Yeah, actually, I would be awesome if we got to see who makes the Sung Beast units. Because they all have fucking cheeky personalities. That's one thing about this series. Like, we know about the main side of her girls, but we really don't know anything about any of, like, the human forces. And I'm not saying the ones that are on the ground. I'm saying the ones that actually build the machines. I mean, I really hope they do that because when it comes to, like, these type of war settings, they're always more interesting when we can get the perspective of both sides. But so far, we only really get the perspective of one side. Going by the way she's talking, she's probably got a trap, or the terrain's majorly towards her advantage. That's the only downside about this series, though, sometimes when it comes to, like, its character designs. When it comes to, like, the enemy grunt units, they all look the same, so every single time we see them fight the grunt units, it just feels a little bit too samey. Kind of wish the enemy Songvi's units, at least the grunt ones, the fodder, sometimes have, like, changed up character designs. I just think it would make things a little bit more visually engaging, considering that when it comes to the main force of our pro tags, there's so many differing and varying character designs. Oh, you got this Ingram chick where she's got a damn cool character design. I mean, hey, they're going to have to fucking make it work. Mm-hmm. And they're professionals, too. They're going to have to find a way of making it work. As unfortunate as it is, that's life sometimes. You're going to have things against your favor, but you're just going to have to make do with what you've got, unfortunately. Which is smart. I can only hope that the intelligence of the units that they've got can make up for the lack of numbers. You know, that would actually be unique if some of these actually got to win this time because they've been taking nothing but else throughout the whole series. Don't get me wrong. I don't want anything bad to happen to our main girls. But the zombies in this series don't really feel like major threats because we haven't really seen them even take a single victory yet. So, I mean, I guess for narrative purposes, it would be fine if Oh. And it's kind of relatable too, where sometimes you work hardest for there not to be overtime and you haul ass. That is like so fucking relatable. That's why, honestly, between M4 and Giantine, I honestly can't pick between these two as to who's my favorite. I'm gonna have to watch more episodes because they're both best girl worthy, if you ask me. I love when characters do fist bumps. Yeah! Level 11, good vibes. And just so for the sake of all of them, things go into their favor. Oh man, okay. The animation kind of was a bit stiff there because when the bullets were hitting the Songvi's enemy units, we didn't really see any battle damage. We just saw the bullets just push them down, which is a contrast again from episodes 1 and 3 of this series, where when we saw bullets hit bodies, it absolutely wrecked them. What the fuck is this? Instead of it looking like bullets are colliding with their bodies, it looks like BB bullets are colliding with their bodies here. A damn shame too, though, because the earlier episodes of this series, you can definitely tell the early episodes of this series had way higher production values, and now it feels like it's just falling, unfortunately. All right. I hope that at the very least, when it comes to M4A1 taking on the Ringleader, we actually get a cool looking fight scene this time. I don't think she has any leverage to be asking for anything from M6, from the intruder, though. I like how she even memorizes who they defeated. Yeah, she had the fucking point. That's what I was thinking earlier, too. And then, like, they have the fucking leverage to be asking her shit. Yo, I like that Kiki personality. You know, I can actually believe that she doesn't know anything. She's got a fucking point. Well, then again, shouldn't she be scared though? Because they got all these guns trained on her. Oh boy. Yo! Now that's an introduction there. Although I don't even think they needed her to have an introduction though. I mean, oh shit! This chick got the big guns. Damn! Okay, I kind of like this. Finally, we're getting to see an enemy force that actually is intelligent. I mean, at least Intruder is much more intelligent than the other antagonists these girls have faced in the past, at the very least. Oh! I mean, it makes sense. They're in enemy territory that they would potentially be set up to having to go up against an ambush. I like how this chick is an absolute show off too. I love it. I know I shouldn't love her as much as I do, but fuck, she's like the first thing this series has to win genuine antagonists. That actually is. Yo! okay, I mean, that reverse Uno situation was damn epic. That explains why it's. Damn, this chick has thought everything through. I like how when she's posing, and she's posing as if she was actually doing a musical performance. Oh! I like this. We see, like, how when it comes to these two, they've naturally had so many experiences. They can guide each other to take action even without words. That's actually pretty nice. My guess is there's a chance that Intruder might know about the blind spot, though. Because I don't think someone like Intruder who thought everything through would overlook a blind spot. Wait, don't tell me she didn't know about that blind spot. Well, it just happened, so it's possible now. Oh, man. Oh. I don't mean, now that's a fucking entrance right there, like straight up. Yo, they've got that a broken ability? Oh. Again, I wish the animation quality was better because we're seeing the bullets again land against the enemy Sung Beast units, but we don't see it really do any damage at all. I mean, it feels like it's doable. I mean, yo, it'd be a damn shame if Intruder died this early though, because she seemed like she could have potential. Wait, okay, so she actually has a trump card. I mean, the one thing I can imagine doing is like do some kind of like suicidal attack. I can only hope the girls actually have a counter move against that. Because here's the thing, that weapon that she's utilizing looks really powerful, but it definitely looks like the downside of that weapon is that it's looks so bulky and heavy as shit. I'm assuming the girls are going to have a doll unit that's going to attack from behind or even from above. Yo, I feel like that's the first time we ever see a girl's run of bullets. Oh my! Yep, I fucking knew it. I fucking knew it. The reason why I knew it is because it was set up for that perfectly. But in saying that, though, I mean, don't get me wrong, this is a cool win, but it's like this series, it's hard to take any of the antagonists seriously because it did the same thing all the other episodes did. Intruder is just like Hunter and all the other Song Beast enemies. It's like, oh. It's like, oh yeah, we introduced this badass enemy unit and they just get bitched the fuck out in the same episode. Yeah, Intruder seems awfully calm for someone that's lost, if you ask me. Huh. I mean, that's life. You got your high points, you got your low points, unfortunately. Yeah, it's actually pretty fucked up that she actually perceived the situation as fun considering what happened to herself. And in that case, it's a pretty fucked up way of killing time, though. I like how she looks at the ending dolls. Like she looks at it as fun. Whoa, wait, what? So wait, does that mean that she's got potential backup line and wait to Avenger, or the Songvi's got some kind of like epic tier unit that's gonna potentially change the tide of the war? I'm assuming to makes sense. Oh, it's so nice seeing a girl happy. Yeah. I mean, I could see why M4 would be pissed. She was worried all this time. Yeah, I mean, I knew it. I mean, and she asked me why that was for. I mean, she was worried about her. Oh, that's so cute. We know she would never. We know she'd never do that. I gotta admit, it's a sweet little tender moment here. And I love these moments too where you see M4's vulnerable side. Because we usually see her strong side. I mean, she just spoiled our girl a little bit considering all the stress she went through. I mean, that was kind of touching. And saying that though, even though I enjoyed this episode quite a bit, there were problems in this episode. Now, if I had to rate this on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being abysmal, 5 being 9 to 10 being exceptional, this episode was average. And let me explain why I thought it was an average 5 out of 10 tier episode. There was problems as much as I liked the episode. It does the same thing the other episodes did. Oh boy, we introduced a powerful Songvi's units leader. Oh no, they get eliminated in the same episode. I'm like, isn't this the same formula that the last few episodes of the series had it? It's like it's the same thing every episode. Like the same thing for like the last 7 weeks. And as much as I enjoyed the episode, and it's not to say this episode didn't have plot progression, it did. I mean, we finally get to see M16 reunited with all the girls, so it made progression there. We finally get to see all our main 4 girls back again. It's still not going to change the fact that this episode could have had the reunion earlier, and it doesn't change the fact that what really happened in this episode to progress the plot, it just felt like it was the same status quo, that the girls defeat more Songvi's enemy units, and there's going to be more Songvi units threats. It just feels like same old, same old. Except for, of course, with the added addition of M16 reunited with the girls. That was the only thing that felt a little bit more unique. Because with Intruder, let's just be real, it felt like maybe she was going to be able to do something more than just being a bona fide scrub, and then this episode she just gets bitched the fuck out like she was nothing. And that's my disappointment with the episode, because if I had to break down this episode, I mean, it was enjoyable for the most part. But it's like, holy shit. I really hope the writers can do something in its last 3 episodes, because now this series is past its halfway point now. We're in episode fucking 7 now. And it feels like they've just been rinsing and repeating the episodes from start to finish. And here's another thing, too. Unlike the other episodes, this was the first on-number episode that didn't look that good, because you can tell the production values are being strained. Like, for example, in episodes 1 and 3, and yes, I got to continue mentioning them because episodes 1, 3, and yeah, those 2 were like the gold standard. Literally, if we're talking about visuals and peak storytelling for this series, 1 and 3 were by far the best episodes. After that, hands in being close, because during all these action set pieces, they're mess breaking. Instead of thinking, oh yeah, cool shit's happening, this series can't even do the roll cool effect, because like when the bullets collide, it doesn't do damage, it just slightly grazes the dolls, or sometimes doesn't even look like they're hitting the dolls, even though the bullets are actually hitting them, because of the animation quality being stiff. If this series is so dead set on being a rule of cool with it doing relatively the same shit every episode, at least animate yourself well, and this series doesn't do that, and that's my issue with the episode. Now, in saying that, there were still bits I enjoyed about it. I enjoyed that bit where M4 was talking with M16. I thought that was really beautiful. It was nice seeing M16 do the same. I like that. And to its credit, I like the bits of dialogue involving Intruder. It's such a shame. They killed her off way too fucking early. I'm like, how am I going to be able to take any villain in the series seriously if they just fucking die instantly? I'm like, holy shit. Like, these are all big problems in the series, because it's like without any... Because think about it. An antagonist is only as good as how far they can push the protagonist. Because if they can't push the protagonist far, then they're not really much. They're like almost nothing at this point. And that's where my issues lie with this series, aside from, of course, the degrading animation quality. That's kind of a big issue, too. So, yeah, from a script standpoint, there were bits that worked, and there were bits that didn't work. From a character standpoint, I guess it did a little bit better there, because it was nice seeing M4, seeing the love she's got for M16, and how pissed she was that he wasn't informed by M16 that she survived. I thought that was a really damn sweet scene, especially when she was joking, saying that, oh, yeah, well, I'll just erase your files and your memories and all that. I'm like, yo, that is some nice, savage little anger there. And I love stuff like that. Or the bit where you have Intruder's, I should say, fun, quirky, eccentric personality when she's playing music. It's just a shame that when it comes to Intruder, we didn't get to see more of her. And when she dies, it's like, okay, I mean, I guess... she's just like all the other villains, I guess. Even though they hyped her up that she was the leader of all these enemy units, she just dies even quicker. Hell, I felt more fear from the antagonist in episode 1 than Intruder. Because at least, and speaking of which, that's another issue with the action set pieces. Like, don't get me wrong, this episode did a good job of showing Intruder's intelligence, but holy fuck did the fighting end so easily with the girls just shooting guns without any strategy. Then you've got M16 showing up to shoot Intruder from behind. I'm like, yeah, the action choreography this episode wasn't so... No, it wasn't that good at all. And again, I gotta compare it to episodes 1, 3, hell, even 5 had better action choreography than this. So yeah, that's where my issues with the episode lie. It's like, there were good moments. There were bits where Intruder made me crack a smile. But it's like wasted potential too. So that's what overall, the script, while there were bits I enjoyed, it did have its weaknesses, unfortunately. Now, in saying that, let me go on to the animation quality. Well, of course, it could have been worse because there wasn't a lot of still shots. It wasn't that good either. It was like, are the animators in the series trying? Because it didn't look that way when I was reacting to the episode. So it didn't look like there was much effort put into them. But At least it wasn't the worst looking thing I've ever seen, but I've seen better. The artwork was, if I had to be honest, the artwork, it was at the very least on model for the most part. That was probably like the only positive thing I can say about the visuals. Voice acting was the only thing it did exceptionally well, and the music was actually pretty good, surprisingly. And that's why if I had to rate the episode overall on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being abysmal, 5 being average, 10 being exceptional, I'll give it a 5 out of 10 for okay. Only because of the good moments lifting it to the point where I'm like, okay. The good moments lifted up to the point where at the very least it ain't it's an abysmal episode, but holy fuck did I expect more from this series. I really hope episode 8 can do something impressive. But I mean, at this point, though, no matter what the series does, though, it's only going to be an okay anime at best because the series has squandered way too many episodes to even be considered really good at this point. But I hope that at the very least it can write the shit before all is said and done. But anyways, y'all, these are my thoughts on the episode. I would really love to hear your thoughts on how you feel about my reaction or the episode itself in the comment section below. Hope y'all rate the video, share your comments, or subscribe, and I'll see y'all later if you come back for more. But anyways, y'all, thank you very much for watching my video and have a fantastic day, everyone. Bye-bye.